Dude, so I smoke weed and tobacco together through a wood pipe, and I've been doing so for about a year. I'm positive it's bad for me. I can't find really good research. I've heard all I hear is he said, he say, she say. You know, I haven't seen good health stuff on it yet, which sucks. But I can tell you that my lungs feel like they're not as good as they were before because I inhale the pipe smoke. I don't usually, I'm smoking this tobacco, like pipe tobacco, through this, and then putting a small layer of pot on top, and then, you know, I hit that hard. I don't really let with this pipe at all. You know, when everything I'm doing, I'm inhaling because, you know, I'm trying to get stoned. I find it's kind of like a blunt. If you've ever smoked a blunt, if you're a fan of that, the mixture of tobacco and weed for me is just a money shot. Oh, it's so much better than just smoking weed. For me, I smoke to relax, no matter what kind of pot it is. I have severe PTSD. I'm bipolar. I have MDD, major depression disorder, major anxiety disorder. These are all things I've gotten fucking diagnosed with. ADHD as well, and I have a broken hip, and my back is also broken. So I'm on a cane. I can barely move. Military service has completely fucking ruined my life. So here I am smoking fucking out of a wood pipe. And, you know, I smoked the wood pipe, just tobacco. This has got weed in it right now. I've already been smoking. I'm going to just start smoking while I'm talking. While I was in the military, I just smoked, you know, this with tobacco. And, you know, it was like once a week kind of thing. Then when I when I got out, yeah, I started smoking this bitch nonstop the second I got out with just tobacco. And then 2 days after I got out, you know, I'm living in Washington, so I went and partook in the recreational marijuana scene. And I haven't really looked back since. You know, I'm extremely injured. I discovered a lot of mental health issues as I got out that I didn't know I had. Luckily, they didn't surface too much in the military until the last 6 months. I started noticing the signs. So luckily, I got out, you know, before I had, you know, any major meltdowns or anything like that. But that was all my civilian time. And so I do this to relax. I find the tobacco gives me this feeling, I call it lead foot, where I can't get up, kind of. And a lot of people may not like that, but, you know, it does give me that indica in the couch kind of thing, like, almost consistently. You know, it'll still be a cerebral high. I even have hallucinogenic highs. But, you know, it's always kind of, I'm usually I'm able to relax and just sit down, you know, and it's nice too. With my back, you know, to just be able to sit and not think about how bad my back hurts for any amount of time is just, you know, it's gold. So I'm going to start smoking now. So most of my friends can't stand this. They consider it way, 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 way too harsh. And I don't blame them because it does kick like a mule. Now, I smoke this 24/7 into the lungs, basically, you know, like 5 times a day, usually, about 2 grams a day. You know, 1.5 grams, actually, is usually what I average. 1.5 grams a day through this thing. So people who do the vapes, my friend has, like, he buys the little ones that you can get refills that you can get them at like 7-Eleven. And I took a hit off of that, and it hurt so much more than this does. And I don't even, maybe it's just what my lungs are used to and the chemical makeup kind of thing. But you'd think like the little vape would be nothing compared to, like, basically, you know, this is a soft cigar, you know. You know, that's the kind of tobacco we're talking. It's like kind of like a soft cigar. I would also compare it to, I think they're American Light or American Lake. The Native American cigarettes, those do not have nicotine and addictive chemicals added to them. It's the same tobacco, just put in cigarette form. I bought that once. Don't smoke it through this. It's so dry, it'll get really hot. So that when you burn it, you're going to get mainly just hot tobacco in your mouth. And that sucks. This is moist. So this is moist. So it takes a while to, to get heated. So it doesn't really give me that much tobacco per hit. I'm burning it up underneath this, like underneath this layer. I'm going to burn it up. But, it's not too bad. When I'm in public, I don't smoke in public, but if I were to smoke in public, what I would do is I would put tobacco on top of this and smoke it that way. So people, one, the smell is always mixed, and my thing with that is if people can't get a 100% that's marijuana, they won't have the balls to say something. They need verification, sight of a little fucking Ziploc bag of green, anything like that. They need something like that. But if you're walking around with the wood pipe, for one, it doesn't really give you away. That's the main reason I use it. Is it is super inconspicuous to marijuana use. It looks like I'm just some broken ass handicapped dude smoking a pipe. That makes sense. So if I am just a dude smoking, people associate the pipe with pipe tobacco. The smell is diluted always. I usually, if I do walk down the street, it's usually just tobacco. But sometimes, yeah, if I can, there's ways to smoke too, that are inconspicuous. So, I'm going to continue, smoking this. I already smoked a shitload before this video, but I'm just going to do it just because I'm talking about it and I'm tooting its horn. So, let's see what we can do. Still have half the bowl. Probably about 3 or 4 hits actually on that. And that first one fucked me up. Ooh. I'll keep talking. So I have a bunch of other pipes, different shapes and sizes. Larger bowl. I can carve them myself. So the larger bowl ones, the longer stem. So that this is Gandalf style. Those are cool. What's cool about that is it's really smooth. Like if you want to just smoke pot, and I enjoy smoking marijuana more than I enjoy the effects are kick ass too. I mean I'm a stoner too, guys. I'm on board. But the main thing is that I absolutely love burning green stuff in my bowl and smoking it. I love the taste. I love the experience. I love it. I really do love the experience of smoking it. I've been smoking tobacco, and I never really liked it. Even cigarettes, it never really was for me. Just kind of always felt like beers. I drink beer, at parties, so I drink it like everybody else. But I'm really more of a hard liquor guy. I prefer literally Hennessy on the rocks, or fucking whiskey on the rocks. That's basically that's just what I prefer to drink. If I'm drinking, I like that, and if I want to smoke something, I like the burning of the green. And then, not to mention, then I have the awesome effect. Cool thing is when I'm drinking, this is always with me, and so I always smoke pot, tobacco, and drink at the same time. This is a good lit, dude. If you're not experiencing really that, if there's flashing lights and stuff, yeah, you'll get a really kick-ass hallucinogenic, awesome experience, almost as if you took a small dose of mushrooms. That's psychedelic, with a mixture of beer, alcohol. This is going hard, getting lit with this involved. That's my go-to. That's what I do every time. And here's one cool thing: I never throw up. And I always get so fucked up off of this that the drinking always cuts down. I'll smoke 5 times in a night where I'm getting effed up with me and my buddies. So I'll just smoke every hour basically. 420, that's what I did. Every hour on the hour I went outside and smoked 3 bowls. So, or 3 layers. So basically what I do is I just, I sprinkle a layer, and then, so I'll grab a little, there's still some over here. Boop. Let's see if you can see it's really colored. I think it's Blue Kush. I think is what I have right now is Blue Kush. It's supposed to be pretty laid back. I'll tell you what, Blue Dream, I have a problem with. It is absolutely painful for me to smoke that one. It gives me an anxiety, like heart pain the whole time and nothing else. Nothing else. No fun, no anything. Just a heart pain. So imagine buying an ounce of something that literally all it does is give you heart pain. Every other pot, I smoke excessively and I've been fine. This is also, that weed was so strong that when people smoked it their first time, you know, they'd been smoking for a while. They smoked that pot. I had 2 people quit smoking pot after the first time they smoked that batch. We still think maybe there was something wrong with it. Like maybe it had, I had the idea maybe spice was mixed with it. Because it was like very chest pain, like as if smoking it was a different thing than smoking pot. You know, it was maybe there had been pesticides or something, you know, sprayed all over it, you know, anything like that. You know, that's what I was thinking. So I'm gonna take one more huge hit of this and then we'll call it. But do I suggest this? For health reasons, probably not. But for the fact that if it's not, I don't think very many people would excessively do it the way I do. But this is a really good way to go because if I'm just gonna sit on my balcony and smoke, you know, I want to be inconspicuous. I don't want to bother people. It mixes the smell. So like my buddy smoked a joint on that balcony, and it was very, 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 very clear that we were smoking like pot, it's straight pot. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's just the whole neighborhood reeks of weed now. So like this, at least, you know, it dilutes that smell. It's not a good smell. It's almost shitty smelling. Like when they mix together and then when you clean out the pipe, it reeks. The mixture of oils and I will say this compromises your pipe. Get a pipe that you don't give a shit about. This was a $30 one. I have ones that were like $70 that I ended up using for this too. And that was kind of a waste because they were better off as just like a really good tobacco pipe. Now they're kind of gunked up. There's a lot of oils and stuff that go into the wood because, you know, that's why pot isn't smoked through wood is because it goes clean into the oils. It makes the pipe reek. So like right now, I can't smell it as much because it's still got pot in it, so it still smells kind of nice. Like you can still see it's pretty green. Yeah, my wife has complained many a times. Like the pipe itself reeks like shit, and then my sister and my brother-in-law have also said the same thing. Like I've come in and they've been like, yeah, that pipe fucking reeks. And like it's not really clear that it's, you know, it's almost like cigar reek. Where it's like really strong and kind of nasty smelling, like it's that smell, and it stays on you, like it does stay on you actually, like so it's really like for me. I figure if I'm gonna smoke all the time, I'd rather dilute it so it's not immediately recognizable as like that's marijuana. You just smoked a fucking joint in your car, you know. Like I don't want to be that person at all. I'm in class and stuff, you know. I don't want to smell too bad, and I'm sure it does, but because it dilutes it, I haven't had issues. When I smoked just like straight, when I came in, I had people just immediately fucking comment, like, oh, you smell like weed, dude. Like, I can smell that from over here, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, so I learned that when I smoked the pipe, it was a little less likely that happened. I'm also not that approachable. I'm a handicapped veteran, and I'm not happy about it. Like, so I'm not there to make friends with 18-year-olds, you know. I'm fucking 23, and I'm completely disabled, feeling like an old-ass man. I haven't worked in 2 years, you know, trying to get my disability. Right now I'm getting $400 a month for not being able to move. So, you know, I'm working on that shit because, you know, I didn't deploy while I was in. I was in a combat unit. I was a combat medic with the infantry. And they totally, you know, they treated us like shit. They PT'd the fuck out of us, and my body broke down. You know, everybody's did. I was a medic. I treated the same injuries time and time again, you know, like, so I got out with wear down injuries. My hip did actually break in during physical training. My hip popped out of socket, and then it cracked. From there, it cracked, and it's been that happened when I was I think 19. So I was only able bodied until age 19, and now I walk with a limp, and so I finished off my last 3 years in the Army with a broken hip. As a combat medic, running around, carrying people, all that shit with my hip broken. And so then my back broke from having to lift with my back instead of my legs because I couldn't squat because of my hip. So I started using my back. And so my back has complete damage in the lower lumbar. It's completely... I can't touch my feet. I can't move, basically. So my back kind of got ruined too. Like, my right ear is mostly deaf. Like, from driving a tank ambulance, So, if this is unhealthy, I don't give a fuck because my life has been fucking miserable. So I'm gonna smoke the fuck out of this unhealthy smoking pipe.